We are your hosts, Sarthak, Shoria, and Sane. You are our hardcore fans, and this is our football fantasy. So today we're doing it on a Monday instead of a Friday, and you might be thinking why? Well, the game week is starting on Tuesday, while the game week usually starts on Saturday and sometimes a Friday. So we are filming it today, and we will send it over to you by the end of today. And yeah, let's get into it. So game week 13, and we actually have had a pretty calamitous game week 12 as we got every single prediction wrong. Unfortunately, none of us gained any points whatsoever. So out of, I believe, it's out of 15, we got 0. So hopefully we'll be doing better this week. So Sane, can we just, the stats don't need to be said, but for everyone who wasn't there last week.
So last week's game week was pretty calamitous as no one expected these results. So overall, the same scores as last week. Shoria is on 36. Shoria is on 36. I am on 29 and Sarthak's on 27.
So I stay in the lead, and I hope to retain that lead after this week, but who knows, anything can happen.
Yes, so our first match will be Chelsea versus Wolves. So Wolves and Chelsea not been looking that great for the past couple of games. Chelsea looking decent, Wolves bad. Jan Martino recently got a red card, which means he will be suspended for this game. A huge loss to Wolves. And I think that Wolves will just be able to score a goal, maybe Pedro Neto or Podence, to make it a 1-1 draw.
I think that Chelsea will scrape a win and it will end up as a 2-1 win to Chelsea.
I think that definitely they've not been in good form, but 1-1 Krasnodar for Chelsea, even though they weren't playing their best 11, and he had the one that lost to Everton. Of course, the last game for Wolves against Villa was not very good. I think that will be a 2-1 win to Chelsea. It will be a pretty decent performance by the Blues. I hope so. However, Wolves are a good side, and they surely will be able to get a goal.
Now we move on to Man City versus West Brom. Man City having really easy fixtures, not gonna lie, for the past couple of games, with the likes of West Brom, Fulham, Sheffield United, and just one hard game against Man U. And I think they will win another game 3-1.
I think that Man City, the team that I support, will be winning 4-1.
I think that Man City, after getting pretty easy games, I think that West Brom, we've been over predicting the big sides, particularly the big six against West Brom. So I'm predicting a 2-0 win to Manchester City.
Yeah. Next up, we have Arsenal versus Southampton. And one question: what is going on with Arsenal? Arsenal's form recently has been horrid, and their home form. This is first time they've lost to Burnley at home since the mid-70s. Not looking great for Arteta. So I think Southampton will win 2-1.
Southampton in pretty good form, and Arsenal currently 15th in the table. Xhaka getting a red last game against Burnley. He pretty much strangled the other player. And Aubameyang scoring an own goal. So Arsenal in very bad form, and I think Southampton will win 1-0.
So I think that Arsenal are having terrible form, and they'll lose 2-1 to Southampton. Definitely James Ward-Prowse with some brilliant free kicks and set pieces.
Next up, we have Leicester versus Everton, and I think that Everton will come away with a 2-1 win.
So Leicester and Everton have both got a win last week. Pretty comfortable wins, not gonna lie. So I believe that Leicester will still be able to win 2-1.
I think that after the Chelsea-Everton game, Everton can win 3-1.
Next up, we have Leeds United versus Newcastle. And under Marco Bielsa, I think Leeds will win 1-0.
Leeds haven't been looking that great recently, and in the last 5 home games, they've only won 1 and drawn 1. And Newcastle just won against West Brom. They're not the most tough sides, but they still got the job done. So I think they will play out a 1-1 draw.
I think that Leeds will win 2-0 under Marcelo Bielsa, as I think that they definitely can do well against Newcastle.
Next up, we have Fulham versus Brighton. Two, you'd say, pretty average clubs in the Prem, and I think that it will finish as a 1-0 draw.
You say they're average, but did you see Fulham's performance against Liverpool? Mate, their team is sick. With the likes of Bobby D. Cordova-Reid, Ademola Lookman, Areola with that Champions League experience, they should be a team that should stay up in the Premier League. And I think they will win 2-1.
Same here. Fulham typically rated as average until they got relegated. I believe it was 2015 when they had some really good players. Now they've made a comeback. Horrible 2018-19 campaign, but I would agree with you if you said that at the beginning of the season or in 2018-19 or any season before that, really, before they got relegated. I think like in 2014. But see, I think Fulham have really got a resurgence, and under Scott Parker, who's a former Chelsea player and a former Fulham player, I think that they can snatch a 1-0 win against Brighton.
Next up, we have the biggest game of this game week: Liverpool versus Spurs. Currently, the two them two teams are in the title race, and I think that Spurs are the better team, and they will come away with a 2-1 win.
Probably the game of the year so far. Spurs in the form of their life, and Liverpool not looking great. So I believe this is a great time for Spurs to beat Liverpool and destroy their unbeaten record at Anfield. And I think that Spurs will win 2-1 and destroy Liverpool's 65 unbeaten record at Anfield in the Premier League.
I don't think that will happen, and I think that definitely Liverpool have had a terrible injury. And I think that Spurs will probably go 2-0 up in the first half. Some terrible, like Liverpool not having the best of squads at the moment. However, Liverpool's potent attack should pull them through with a 3-2 win at Anfield to keep their unbeaten run going.
Next up, we have West Ham versus Crystal Palace. Again, two average teams in the Prem, but against Spurs, the goalkeeper for Crystal Palace, Vincent Guaita, sorry if I pronounce his name wrong, he is an absolute beast. He turned into prime Neuer. But I still think that next game against West Ham, he will not be able to do that again, and West Ham will come away with a 1-0 win.
As you said, Vincente Guaita turned into an absolute beast that game. I don't know what happens with these goalkeepers against Spurs. As you said, Carl Darlow, when we played Newcastle, they turn into brick walls when they play us. But I think that he won't do that against West Ham, and West Ham will win 2-1 in front of their fans.
I think that in front of their fans, West Ham will not be able to win, because I think that Guaita should be able to carry on from. Because I remember when Mo Salah was called a one-season wonder. Look at him now. He's one of the best players in the world and probably will continue to be. I believe that Palace can move to a 2-0 win with Guaita keeping a clean sheet and making some brilliant saves. Surely he can continue his form.
Next up, we have Aston Villa versus Burnley, and I think that Aston Villa will win 1-0.
As last time, Burnley absolutely wrecked Arsenal with their tactics, and finally Aubameyang scored a goal. It may have been an own goal, but he still broke his drought, and I believe that Burnley will win another one, 1-0.
I think that Burnley can surely. I think Burnley have been doing really well. However, Villa are just with Jack relegation, Ollie Watkins. Surely they'll be able to pull themselves through. In this game against Burnley, no disrespect to them, however, with the budget they have, I think that Villa can definitely do pretty well against them. No disrespect to them. Dyche is a brilliant manager. You have some pretty good players, but Villa are just too good for them. It'll be a 2-1 win to Villa.
And the final game of the Premier League for this game week 13, Sheffield United versus Man U. Dean Henderson facing his old club. It'd be nice to see him play, but I think that Man U will come away with a 2-1 win.
Last time this fixture happened at Bramall Lane, it finished 3-3, an enticing game in front of the passionate Sheffield United fans. But this Sheffield United is no more, and I believe that Sheffield United will lose once more 2-0.
I think that Man U definitely can do something, but Dean Henderson won't be able to keep a clean sheet against his former club. And yeah, I think it will be a 3-1 win to Manchester United.
So that's it for the Premier League. And a quick roundup of the last game week, Shoria, if you'd like to start.
Yes, so just very recently today, we have had the Champions League and Europa League draws. So if I can get these up for you on screen. Champions League, the draw. And it says that firstly we have Mönchengladbach facing Manchester City. Mönchengladbach are a brilliant team. However, City even though they have flopped before in the quarterfinals, I think the round of 16 should be pretty good for them. We have Lazio facing Bayern Munich. Of course, Lazio with Immobile and Milinkovic with Savic, but Bayern Munich are just so OP. I'm not sure if Lazio will be able to face them. Atletico versus my team, Chelsea. That's a very interesting matchup. Suarez and Costa playing against his former club. And then you also have the likes of Werner and Havertz, who haven't been performing well recently, but hopefully they can regain their form. Leipzig versus Liverpool, an interesting one here. Nagelsmann versus Klopp. Let's see who will win this managerial battle. Porto versus Juve. No disrespect to Porto, but I'm pretty sure Juve should be able to cruise through this. With their Portuguese superstar Ronaldo probably scoring against their Portuguese team. Barca versus PSG, a rematch of the remontada with Neymar playing on PSG's side and Messi playing his potential future club if he moves there instead of Manchester City or Newell's Old Boys, depending on where he wants to move. Sevilla versus Borussia Dortmund, another interesting game, and Atalanta versus Real Madrid. This should be an interesting one. Atalanta red hot in 2019-2020, but losing their form very slightly now. And Real Madrid very, very much on the edge. But let's see. I think that they should be able to do pretty well. And I just want to see what you guys think of this draw. Sarthak, Sane, what do you think of this?
Yeah, so as once more, Man City have got another easy draw in the Champions League. Mönchengladbach. Some may argue it's a hard draw, but let's be honest, it's the easiest draw Man City could have got. And other teams, the likes of Barca versus PSG, a game to watch out for, alongside Sevilla and Dortmund, two young attacking teams, and Atletico versus Chelsea. It'll be good to see how Diego Simeone lines up against Chelsea.
And Sarthak, what do you think about this draw?
For these draws, and just as Sane said, he thinks that, personally, even I do, not Mönchengladbach aren't an easy, but personally, even I think that they are the easiest potential team that they could have got. But all in all, these round of 16 draws are quite fair, and I think it will be a fun one to watch.
And finally, we'll move on to Europa League draws. So there have also been some enticing games in that, with Real Sociedad facing Man United, Benfica playing Arsenal, which will be two very exciting games.
Yeah, I think that for Real Sociedad versus Manchester United, this will be an interesting one. David Silva returning to Manchester. He was the terror of United. Can he do it again in the colours of Real Sociedad? Well, I think that definitely Sociedad have been really good form. Silva or Yazabal, no Odegaard, but I think that definitely they have a chance against Man United, who have really been capitulating, really just falling apart in the recent times.
Yes, and also on Benfica versus Arsenal, I think this might be the year Arsenal goes out of the Europa League, and I think Benfica will turn up. Jan Vertonghen will want to perform against his former club's rivals, Arsenal, and I think that he will turn up, and Benfica will absolutely batter Arsenal, and yes, there will be great times for Arsenal.
Same here. To be truthful, I think Arsenal are one of the worst teams in the Prem. Yet to be frank with all of you, and I don't think they stand a chance against Benfica. Benfica, a great team with Rafa, the likes of Rafa, and I just don't think that Arsenal will be able to handle Benfica.
Okay, so that is it for today. I hope you've enjoyed our video, and we will see you next time.
See everyone, and peace.